actually. I think it's clear to everyone that we're going into a period when the economy, particularly of the industrialized nations, is going to have to be completely reconstructed. What I think we have to be careful of is not to underestimate the amount of capital investment which is going to go into that kind of restructuring. If I look just at the energy sector, and I've looked particularly at the UK because that's where I am based, the amount of investment in not just energy generating facilities, but the infrastructure to distribute particularly the electrical power, the infrastructure to provide maintenance and support for those facilities is going to be absolutely huge. I think we're probably going to return to the kind of position which we had in the early years of the 20th century, when something like 1 in 10 of the workforce was employed in the energy sector. When we're looking at what we mean by degrowth, I think we have to make a very clear distinction, made by some but not by everybody, between consumption and investment. If the investment component of the economy over the next 40 years, say, is going to be as significant as I think it will have to be, then I cannot see how that can be made compatible with an economy in which the total level of economic activity, measured by the usual things like GDP, I can't see how that can be compatible with an economy in which the total GDP decreases. I think what we're going to have to see is a switch in economic activity between consumption and investment. So that's my interpretation of what the debate over the future development of the economy should embrace. I then start to say, what do we mean by consumption? What is the issue here? I think the issue is that the consumptive patterns which we've got into in the last 50 years or so, and particularly the assumption that consumption has to rise over time, that pattern has been accompanied by a big expansion in demand on the planet's resources. That means material and energy inputs. It also means demands on the carrying capacity of the planet. So for me, the degrowth agenda has to focus on the capital investment which we need to make this transition and the effect that will have in reduction in total consumption, but in particular a reduction in the a reduction in the environmental component of consumption.